Well, I made it through to end of week 8 on the blood sugar diet, so 8 weeks ago. Made the decision to adopt big lifestyle changes, and seem to be working. I've yes, been up and down over the 8 weeks. It hasn't all been plain sailing. It's quite an extreme diet to go on, but as I said at the beginning, it was something that I needed to do, having been diagnosed officially with diabetes about 8 years ago. Probably had it a bit longer. Actually, I was looking at some photographs hunting out yesterday at the end of the diet, some of the photographs from about 8 years ago when I was just diagnosed as diabetic. So yes, somewhat different to say the least. Certainly not looking to go back at all to that. I must have been, over 20 stone at that stage. A whole nother me virtually. So I'm half the man I used to be in terms of physically, but I think a lot better mentally anyway nowadays. Thanks to the support of Joe and the kids and the rest of my family and friends. So I couldn't have really done this without everybody, so thanks very much. Yes, it took me 8 years of potentially coming to terms with the fact that I was diabetic and not really dealing with it at all. I started off okay, did a bit of exercise and lost a bit of weight. I think I got down to about 18 stone in the first couple of years, but still in denial, I suppose, that I was diabetic, and very much happy. I wouldn't say happy, but sort of reluctantly going on the drugs and relying on the drugs to treat what is or has been seen as a chronic disease. Then a few years ago I did the 5-2 diet, which for me, I did well. I lost 3 stone on it, got down to about the 15 stone mark, but I still wasn't accepting to a certain extent that I had diabetes, and yes, I did lose the weight, but wasn't still managing the diabetes very well, and certainly wasn't managing the food or even the exercise at all. So I made the decision at the beginning of this year that before my birthday, which is next week, that I would reverse the diabetes this year. So that's why I went on the 800 blood sugar diet. I haven't been a paragon of virtue on it. It's still a work in progress with regards to the lifestyle changes, but the habits are forming there, the better exercise habits. I'm just back out here for a walk and a run with the dog. I'm doing some exercise every day, and the eating habits I've certainly improved with the mix of the proteins, the fats, the vegetables, the good fruits and the carbs in that order. Not quite got the chocolate or the red wine in there yet, but now that I've got nearly twice the amount of calories available to me now, rather than the 800 has got about 1600 I'm allowed to do potentially for the next bit, because I've set myself another target to get down. I'm down to 84 kilos, which was 12 kilos lost. So I want to get around to about 79, which is about 12.5 stone, which is that magical normal BMI, whatever BMI is. So I've got a 10k run I'm doing in October that Alan has signed me up for. So officially going to do a proper 10k other than the 10ks I've been doing around here. I did a 10k yesterday. Not doing the Chudley 10k on Friday, but I might do the route at some stage over the summer, go up that big old hill. So certainly the habits are there, and very much the exercise habit is in there, as are the eating habits. Celebrated today by having some porridge this morning and some seeds and and a bit of apple. So really, pushed the boat out there and actually had a sandwich for lunch with salad and ham and other bits of veg with it. So normally I would just have the sandwich and ham and not have any of the rest of the stuff. And it's a big change. So it's still going to be trial and error, especially with regards to the carbs and the sugars. I have obviously done a lot of damage to myself over the past 20 odd years, and the last 8 years. So it's going to take a bit longer for me to be able to work out the carbs and the sugars. I did a wee test yesterday actually. I had a couple of digestives that Alice had, and then went out for a wee run afterwards to see how my body's dealing with the sugar. And normally when I go out for a run after having something to eat lunch, my bloods are back at very much the normal levels, but they were slightly higher than that. So it shows that I've still got a way to go yet before my body can accept small amounts of sugar. But the whole idea of this lifestyle change is to basically pretty much take sugar out of the diet anyway. So obviously that's the sensible way to go, and that's the way I'm going to be continuing, keeping the sugar out of the diet, and keeping the carbs as low as possible to the healthy whole grain, low GI, no GL carbs on it. But yes, interesting that I've got nearly 1600 calories to eat today, and I don't think I'm going to go anywhere near it because we're having spaghetti bolognese for tea, and I'm still going to have the courgette spiralized as instead of the pasta, because I quite like it. So that's going to be a good one. So over the next 2-3 months, I've got that target of a bit more weight loss to do, but also to cement these habits. These 8 weeks have certainly created new habits for me, and it's just making sure that those are ingrained in my psyche. So it'll be good that that'll happen. I'm not going to be as obsessive with the diet and whatnot like I was over the last 8 weeks. So it means I can be obsessive about other things, like potentially the exercise and the family and the work. So put good effort into continuing to build up the business. Not that I've not been busy over the past 8 weeks, but I've just not really had masses of focus on the business because I've been focusing on the health, which is very much important. So so that's where we're going with that there. And as I say, this couldn't have been done without certainly the love and support of Joe and the kids and the rest of the family. And we're creating new habits amongst us as a family in terms of healthier eating. We're pretty much going to continue on with the menus that we've been doing, just adding a bit more calories during the day on that one there, and certainly with the exercise, getting the kids out to do more, Joe and I getting out to do more. So yes, very much a turning the corner. In terms of tips of how to do this, making the decision in the first place is the biggest one, really. It is a tough diet, and you've got to make that choice for yourself. Hopefully me, 44-year-old, overweight, asthmatic, diabetic, who can, put it bluntly, get off his arse and do something and make that decision. Anybody can do it, really. But it was something that I had to do. It was something that was within my control. Certainly there's a lot of stuff out there that isn't within my control, certainly since all the things like the Brexit votes and all things like that there. But my lifestyle, my health, that is within my control, and I can't blame anybody else for that. That's me. That was down to me. So therefore, making that decision, it was mine. Utilising the book was useful for recipe ideas, which we've adapted to a certain extent because I didn't go the full hog with the some of the recipes, but making that sort of food change was great. And upping the exercise, absolutely, definitely helps a lot. Possibly overdid the exercise a bit, but I suppose that's no bad thing if it's getting me healthier. And all that sort of works together then to have that mindset. My mindset has become more positive, capable of dealing with stuff. Yes, I have sort of to and been selfish over the past 8 weeks on it, but I think it needed to be done to get me through to where I am, so that I can then move on with life with the kids and Joe. So yes, I've been doing some mindfulness techniques and things like that there. So the runs like this, going out and here's the woofer. Going for runs in the beautiful countryside and sitting down and taking it all in and just saying, well, actually, we are pretty bloody lucky in terms of family, friends, where we live. There's a hell of a lot of people in worse situations than us. So be thankful for what you've got, really. So that sort of mindset, more at peace with myself and where I am, has helped me a lot as well through this. So, and it's nice that other people are sort of saying that's great, well done. It was a lot of support, but also that potentially I've inspired other people to go and sort of make those changes as well. But hopefully that inspiration helps them make that decision themselves, because they have to make that decision themselves, because it's a toughie, to get them into the right mental position to be able to do that. Because with the diabetes, it is tough, and you have your highs and lows, and a hell of a lot of lows, and I've had a hell of a lot of lows over the past sort of 10 years or so in terms of low places where I've been, and unfortunately I've taken the rest of family and friends with me on that. So yes, if I can inspire people to say, you can make that lifestyle change, then that's good, but they need to make that decision, and hopefully that what I've done is help them make the decision. It's good that the medical industry are getting a bit more aware of it. Still not aware enough. I say my doctor didn't even know about the diet, or the ability in essence to reverse using just diet and fitness, really. It's very much a reliance on the drugs. It was nice to hear from a friend, Simon, Dr. Stockwell, at the weekend, and he was saying that he's telling his patients about me, which is great. And if we can just get that word out, that positive thoughts, doing the exercise, and the lifestyle changes, you can beat the diabetes. It's not going to happen overnight, bloody hell it won't. And 8 weeks into it, yes, I'm off on my drugs, but I can step back that into it. I'm not going to, but I can still not reverse the diabetes. And anybody's potentially diabetic if they don't exercise, eat lots of sugar and bad food, and anybody will get that there. But yes, I've reversed the symptoms. There's still a way to go, really, to solidify and concrete that in. But yes, well on my way, and rest of my life to look forward to now, really, with that there. So yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a great journey. Doing these vlogs has helped, because I look back at them and see where I've come from and going, yeah, I'm not going back there. But also it's just useful to sort of say, right, this is what I've done, why I've done it, where I've come from, and where I'm going to with it all. So yes, hopefully people will take heart from it, inspiration, and make those decisions themselves to beat diabetes in terms of the type 2. Hopefully at some stage in my lifetime they'll be able to beat type 1 as well, because it's a horrible disease. But as I say, type 2 generally is within our control, so take control, take that decision, and get on with life.